Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Meet Your Mission. My name is Kalina White, and I graduated from college this past June. I quickly became a programs associate with Homeland Security today, and after that, I started thinking critically about what I was looking for in my career. Given my current role at Homeland Security today, I invite you to join me on this interview series as I talk with people who have pursued different missions within Homeland Security. These missions encompass everything from stopping human trafficking, cybersecurity, immigration, climate security, and intelligence. And as we are learning throughout this series, so much more. These short informational interviews give a glimpse into post-grad lifestyle, where we learn about the many career opportunities that are out there through connecting with people across different disciplines. Today, I am honored to speak with Admiral Thad Allen. Admiral Allen is a former admiral of the United States Coast Guard who also served as the 23rd Commandant. Admiral Allen directed the federal response to Hurricanes Katrina and Rita in the Gulf Coast region from September 2005 to January 2006, and was the National Incident Commander of the Unified Command for the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. His career has taken him through the many missions of Homeland, from maritime security to climate. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Admiral.
Glad to be here.
So you were Commandant of the U.S. Coast Guard. What was your day-to-day like?
Well, I had two kind of different lives. One was in Washington and one was outside of Washington. Inside Washington, I would get up around 5 o'clock and ride a bicycle to Coast Guard headquarters. I'd get in, take a shower, and start reading the messages for the day, and then take on whatever was going on in Washington, whether it be meetings in our headquarters, planning trips to the Hill, testifying before Congress, and so forth. It was a pretty routine in town, but then outside of town, it would involve traveling to wherever our operations were going on, seeing what our people were doing, seeing what our needs were out there, and letting our people know that they did a great job and we were supporting them.
Excellent. And how is the U.S. Coast Guard different from the different components at DHS?
Well, we're simultaneously an armed force, and we're also a law enforcement agency. We have a unique dual character that is basically unique to the federal government. There's no other agency like us. And so while we have a role with the U.S. Armed Forces and work with the Department of Defense, we specifically have law enforcement duties, which the Department of Defense does not. And then that enables us to work seamlessly with the law enforcement agencies inside Homeland Security.
So the Coast Guard is a really unique branch, and you've spent most of your career within it. What really inspires you about the Coast Guard mission?
Well, I think, first of all, it's the humanitarian work that we do. You get a tremendous feeling pulling somebody out of the water and saving their lives. And once that happens, you're pretty much hooked for life. The other missions we do are also important. We have 11 statutory missions, anywhere from polar ice breaking to enforcement of fisheries and illegal migration. So it's something different depending on what unit you're on, and it's a tremendous diversity of assignments and tremendously rewarding.
I think you guys are a great example about how in the department you can work in climate security, you can work in immigration. There are so many options out there. What prompted you to get a master's in public administration, and how did that impact your career? I think that's really important for us students to know that our degrees are actually helping us in some way.
Well, frankly, I didn't want to get an MBA because I thought they'd make me a comptroller. That said, I did get an MPA from George Washington University, and then went on to get the equivalent of an MBA at the Sloan School at MIT. So it didn't save me. I ended up doing about 20 years or so working budget and finance work inside the Coast Guard. So I think the balance of having the equivalent of an MPA and an MBA is terribly important, because government doesn't operate in a vacuum, and understanding how the business side works and the government side works together is extremely important.
Excellent. And then our last question, what would you say to college students who are considering a career specifically in the Coast Guard and then at DHS as the larger organization?
Well, I think it all starts with a commitment to public service, to be part of something that's larger than yourself, and understanding that you're going to be working in a very diverse environments with a lot of different people working in teams, but you're always going to be focused on stuff that's very, very important to the country. And you have the chance, in my view, to get responsibility at a very, very young age in the Coast Guard. I was a commanding officer of a Loran transmitting station in Thailand at the end of the war of Vietnam when I was 25 years old.
That's excellent. Can I just ask a quick question? Where was your favorite place you were stationed?
That's hard to say because each place was unique geographically and was also unique based on the job that I did. So if you ask me what jobs I liked, that would be one set. If you ask what are the great places I lived, well, I've lived in Puerto Rico, I've lived in Miami, Florida, and I've lived on the Oregon coast, and they were all terrific.
Well, then we have to ask the follow-up question. What was your favorite job?
Anywhere you're in command.
I like that too.
And I've been lucky enough to have a number of commands. Anytime that you're the person that's responsible for mission execution, you have people that work for you, and a chance to what I like to say is reconcile opportunity and competency. That's what you want to do.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And I think you've done a really excellent job listing all the different stuff you can do in the Coast Guard and all the cool places you can travel. So thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.